Welcome to Reconnect. On our show today, it's our privilege to welcome actor Ajit Kumar. Now that's a title that sits very lightly on his shoulders because we do believe he'd much rather be known as a motor racing driver. Thank you so much, Ajit, for joining us. Now you seem to have almost made it your mission that you'd like to be known yourself as a motor racing driver. Is that the fact?
Not true, incorrect.
Incorrect?
No, I'll tell you why, because I love motorsports. I love racing cars, and I wish to participate in motorsports and just gain a reputation as a respectable race car driver. So, but I enjoy being a film actor too. I mean, I worked very hard for 18 years, and today whatever I enjoy in my life is thanks to what my film industry has given to me. But again, it wasn't given to me on a platter. I had to work very hard to get here. And yes, I think I consider myself very lucky and privileged to be able to live my dreams.
Right. Indeed, is your dream more to be a motor racing driver?
I'd love to make a living racing cars. I'd love to.
Does this mean that you might move away from films at some time?
No, not necessarily, no.
Okay. How do you manage it? How do you manage to juggle around your time, Ajit? Because you do spend a fair amount of the year actually racing, so how do you manage to juggle around films one side, racing one side?
Okay, this year I plan to do it a lot more professionally, because when I participated in the 2003 Formula BMW Championship, and again in 2004 when I was participating in the British Formula 3 Championship, I was acting and racing at the same time. So there was a lot of burden on my shoulders, and very difficult to be 100% on the throttle when you're racing, because you have a moral responsibility. And so this time I've decided that I would put my projects on hold for some time, which means in principle I have agreed to do a film in October for Cloud9. That's a production company which is being managed by Mr. Dayanidhi Aragiri, and I have decided to dedicate 6 months of my time from, let's say, end of March until September just to motorsports, Formula 2, right, and do the best I can.
Right. Ajit, but do you not believe that your celeb status really does add an impetus to the whole motor racing and the motorsports industry?
I'd like to believe, and I hope that in the process of me participating in the Formula 2 Championship, I can bring about a certain amount of viewership, television viewership, which in turn will popularize the sport, because I strongly believe that today motorsports is still a very, very urban sport. And I think, look at cricket. It's not a sport in India, it's religion. Because everybody can relate to the sport. And I hope that motorsports will also be on par with cricket in a few years from now, like Brazil. Soccer is to Brazil as to what cricket is to India, and right, but at the same time Brazil has also produced some of the world's best race car drivers like Nelson Piquet, the legendary Ayrton Senna, Massa, and Nelson Piquet Jr. So and they coexist.
Right. So, but Ajit, you have to agree with me that motorsports per se is really the prerogative of the more well-to-do people in our country. It's an expensive sport, surely. I mean, how in the world can you ever make it accessible in a rural area?
Are you trying to tell me that cricket is not an expensive sport?
But it is in cricket, Ajit. Let me interrupt you here, please. In cricket, you can have, one bat and 3 stumps, and it's that much easier to play, shall we say?
I agree, but look at the automobile industry today. I mean, look at every home today. They own at least 2 motorbikes. Every home has at least one car, and with the Nano being launched by Tata, I mean, it's a dream come true for everyone. Everybody can own a 4-wheeler. So you don't have to necessarily play a game to appreciate it, like cricket. And 1.2 billion people follow the sport, but does it mean that everybody plays the game? Women follow the sport.
Indeed, yes, absolutely.
So it is not necessary that you actually have to be actively playing a particular sport to be following it or to actually be a part of it. So I believe, and yes, I mean, everyone is actually on their way to work, on their way back from work or to college, thinks he's a Michael Schumacher or let's say a Wayne Rainey or a Michael Doohan on a bike. So I'm sure it's all about relating to something.
Right.
So it's all about, and if I can get people to just relate to the sport, I mean, I'm a hardcore optimist. I believe that
For you.
I'm a hardcore optimist, and I believe that yes, motorsports will be as popular as cricket. I have nothing against cricket. I love cricket. I played cricket in school.
Right.
I love the sport.
Right. But what is the way you believe that you can actually make the motorsports popular? I mean, what is that way? Have you ever sat down and actually thought of, what is the way that you can actually promote the sport?
I guess it's all about TV viewership. It's all about, I mean, look at sports in America. It all revolves around television. All the games played or anything is within that 3 hours. Why is T20 very popular today? It's 3 hours. Today people don't have the time. Yes, cricket started off with a 5-day test, then it came down to 1 day, and now it's T20. And I think T20 is the future of the sport, because people with lifestyles changing over the last 10 years, people just don't have the time. Everybody's ambitious. So I think this 3-hour attention span that people have is just fine. Anything more than that, I don't think people have that attention span. I mean, they start to deviate. So, and I believe that if I participate, now that my fans know that I will not be acting or starting my next project until, let's say, October, and then another 4 to 5 months for the film to actually come to the screen, I believe that they will follow what I am doing. They will want to know more about what the sport is all about, because they will not be seeing me until, let's say, the mid of next year on the screen. And I'm sure, and these races are being beamed live to, I think, 37 countries. Right. So I'm sure some channel would definitely want to make use of this, because it's not just me. I mean, I don't wish to sound pompous, but I think it's for the first time that we're having 3 Indian drivers on the same grid.
Indeed, right.
I mean, I have a tremendous regard for drivers from our country who've represented our country in different levels of motorsport. Naren Karthikeyan, Karun Chandok, Arman Ibrahim, Parthiv Sureshwaran, Aditya Patel, Ashwin Sundar, two-wheelers, Dilip Rogers, Preetham Dev Moses, and they're all from here. And India today has a Formula 1 team thanks to Mr. Vijay Mallya. So there's a lot happening in motorsports today.
So, right, Ajit, we will just hold on here a minute, and we'll come back and talk to you about the rest of your project and what you're going to be doing for the rest of this year. Well, we'll go for a very short while and get right back to you on WeConnect and to this discussion that we're having with actor Ajit Kumar.